the new 2021 W-4 and the ambiguousness of it. It goes back to the tax hike, the Donald Trump tax cuts and tax hikes that he implemented. But we believe people don't know how much you know until they know how much you care. That is just a statement. It's a fact with our MKG Tax Consultants Champions and all our clients. We offer a peace of mind with MKG Tax Consultants. We offer IRS audit legal services for $24.95 a month with no contract. In order to provide you with the best expert advice, we believe in educating our clients and reducing your tax liability. Our forms library is intended to allow us to better serve our clients and change the outcome of their financial situations. Most tax companies don't provide these forms to put your interests before profits. Use the best estimates for the year ahead to determine how to complete a Form W-4 so you don't have too much or too little federal income tax withheld. This is where the uncertainty comes in, Ned. One of the executive actions when Donald Trump was president, he signed in early August of 2020, that took effect the September 1st, was to suspend the requirements for employers to collect Social Security and payroll tax on behalf of their employees until the end of the year. Well, what does this have to do with 2021? Well, it will affect your tax refund dramatically. So it does have a lot, to do with what's going on with your taxes. So if you haven't changed your W-4 recently, you might be fine. However, if you don't change your W-4, then there might be a problem, because what that problem is going to be, it's just going to be something to reckon with. And when I say it's going to be something to reckon with, you're going to have to, really get ahead of this and what's going on, because if you don't, you pretty much are going to be sidelined. So here is our forms library, that we offer here on our website. You can click on, forms library here. And then you want to go down and look at the tax withholding estimator. But, just for, peace of mind, or let's say, we're going to save a little grace here. What we're going to do, we're going to look at that W-4. I mean, if you take a look at the W-4, this is the new W-4 here that we're looking at for 2021. Most people, familiar with these W-4s. I mean, if you are working more than 40 hours a week, doing a lot of overtime, picking up a lot of extra shifts, especially in nursing, you're going to, be changing your withholding, deductions pretty frequently. But this is what it looks like on paper. It's basically, you fill out your name, you put your last name in, you put your social security number, your address, and your filing, your status, whether you're single or married, filing separately, married, filing jointly, or qualifying widower, head of household. And then there's step 2. If you have more than one job, you go ahead and complete that. But this is where it gets a little, ambiguous, and I would say it's not as clear, is when you have to go to step 3. You would claim your dependents, but keep in mind, any one of your dependents that is 17 and older, or that has turned 17, you don't include them inside of your withholdings. And this is just for the federal. You also have to, take into consideration due to state. So for me myself, I would, just put 2 for right here. And then you would also multiply the number of dependents by 500, and then you would go ahead and do the math there. And then you will enter the amount in line 3. So that's how that works. And then it goes to step 4, which is optional adjustments, other income not from jobs, if you're self-employed, got another side hustle, deductions. I like to make sure that we do extra withholdings, which is box C. If you are doing box C, so if you get paid every 2 weeks, you're talking about $50 a month, which is about $600 a year. But let's just say it's $50 every 2 weeks, which is every paycheck, and you're looking at a $1,200. Then you would sign your name and whatnot, and you of course you would put your employer address. This was something that was done for one of our tax clients that came in when I was a teacher. And then what the next part is that you're going to have to go, bear with me here now. You're going to have to go to the IRS website, and that in itself is a whole nother ball game right there. So we're going to look at what are we doing here with the IRS website. Let me see if it allows me to get there. Thanks. So on the IRS website, you're going to go to the Tax Withholding Estimator. And basically, you're going to have to spend some time and really put some effort, into making this work for you. You're going to have to calculate, what your anticipated taxes should be. Look at your paycheck. I always say, look at your last year W-2, divide your federal taxes by 12, and then divide it by 2 if you get paid every 2 weeks. Or if you owe, you want to still do the math, divide that by 12 and then divide that by 2. But if you go ahead and look at what your filing status is, it says about you, 1 of 5, your filing status, you go ahead and select if you're head of household. May another person claim you as a dependent on a tax return? You will enter no. How many dependents? If you select 1, do you or will you hold a job this year with paychecks which federal income taxes will regularly withheld? You would say yes. How many jobs? You will go ahead and click 1. If you have a 401k, 403b, or a retirement, you're going to also select that. If you didn't take out money from your retirement, then that doesn't apply. But last year they were allowing individuals to take a special withdrawal from your retirement account if it was related to COVID and you were not going to take an early withdrawal penalty. But once again, you if you take over, I believe it's $100,000, that can be taxable. But your tax person really got to know what they're doing and really understand. So when you're doing it yourself, and you took out some retirement, and then you end up owing taxes, it's a reason why you would like to come to a license or a registered return tax preparer, a CPA, or an enrolled agent, because they would figure all that things out for you that will be too complicated for the ordinary individual. And then, you would go ahead and from that estimator, you would hit the next one, which will go into your income and withholdings, section, which is here, section 2. Do you expect to hold this job this year for the entire year? You would select yes. How frequently are you paid? You would say every 2 weeks. You will go ahead and enter the pay date. Let's say the day is the 19th. Enter the total wages that you expect to receive this year. Let's just say it's 50K. Have you already enter any bonuses? And if some companies are giving bonuses, but if you don't get a bonus, then that's fine. What you expect to receive later this year. And then if your employer is going to withhold any appropriate taxes from the future bonus, using your last your pay statement, it tells you right here, use your last pay statement, enter the federal income tax withheld. So I'm just going to say 300, as a, estimate per pay period. We're gonna take that back. We're gonna say that it was 5,500 year to date per pay period. Let's just say it's 300. Do you or will you contribute to a tax deferral retirement plan such as a 401k? Let's say yes. Let's go ahead and just put 5K. And then if you have an HSA or a flexible spending account, you say yes. If it's a regular one, then you're going to look at what you contribute. Let's just go with 1,300. And then you would hit the next adjustments to income. That's if you own a home. You can go into student loan interest deduction, education expenses. If you have deductions for contributions from an IRA, a health savings account, moving expenses, alimonies paid, penalty for early withdrawal from a savings, and certain business credits, none of those is really too much going to apply, but I'll just hit next. Deductions from your income. It says if you qualify for the standard deduction, which is 18,500, these deductions reduces the amount of your income subject to income tax. Let's just take the standard deduction. Tax credits based on the input you qualify for the tax credits for your dependents. You can see the tax credits. You got your child and dependent care related expenses, child care tax credits. If their number is over 16, just hit the 1. If you had child and dependent care tax credits, enter the estimate of your work-related child and dependent care expense. If you have earned income tax credits, let's hit 1. Additional tax credits, there's foreign, education, retirement, elderly, business. I mean, it goes on and on. So based off of what this estimate says is that it says that my anticipated tax obligation making about 50,000 is $677. I find that not to be true. I mean, if the kind of income and the kind of money that you're making, about 50,000, you're looking at about $5,000. So that's kind of where you kind of have to sometimes sit back and think and say, well, we're getting this economic impact stimulus money, but how are they funding this money? Well, it's going to be on the backs of the taxpayers here, because if you're normally used to paying, making $50,000, it doesn't make sense logically to pay $677 for the year, or even $1,200 for the year out of $50,000, which means you're going to owe. That's what I was saying, that is very ambiguous, and it's really not clear on how this works here. And so you got to go back and and if you can, even look at the ADP, the paycheck calculator. It's something that we have here on our website. And even if you did do that paycheck calculator, and you start looking at everything, and let's say I go ahead and go with this date here for the check date. My state's going to be California. Now keep in mind, it said about $600 in taxes. Let's say my gross income was let's say it's $1,400 per pay period, bi-weekly. Use a 2020 W-4. Let's hear yes. My filing status is going to be head of household. I don't have 2 jobs, no other income. I'm not going to even worry about the deductions, additional federal withholdings. I could just go with my assumptions of 50. Round federal withholdings. Let's say yes. My state, we're looking also, here's California. Let's do state. It's subject to SDI. Exempt. My filing status is going to be head of household. Additional allowances or additional state withholdings, we're going to go ahead and just do 25. And then let's go ahead and look at 400 here. Roughly, give or take, let's say you do $80 a pay period, and then let's go there, or let's just go 10%, the 10-10 rule. And then we're going to go ahead and calculate that, and then voila. So it's telling us, based off of this calculator here, that your gross pay of $1,400, you're going to pay $104 in federal, which you should pay really close attention to your paycheck, after every 2 weeks to see if you are on target. You also have FICA, your Medicare, your state tax, as well as your state disability. So your net pay should be about $999.98. And that's kind of the ballpark figure that I came up with. And if you kind of would do the math and look at the calculations of what we got here, we're talking about $104 every 2 weeks, which is $208 a month times 12. So you're going to be well over, $1,200 Actually, that's going to be $2,496. But if you go back into the tax withholding estimator, let me go back and let's share that screen. That is pretty much dramatically different, than what the paycheck calculator has shown. And so that's why your refunds are going to vanish. They're going to just disappear. You're not going to have a refund, come next year. I mean, we can go back to, maybe let's take out the tax credits, get my results without the tax credits, and let's see, what that ends up. So now it tells you what your tax obligations are. It's $2,177. So I recommend everyone that needs to do a paycheck calculator, that's like a checkup if you go to the doctor. You basically, going to go and make sure everything's okay, making sure you got a good, clean bill of health. And so that's what we do here at MKG Tax Consultants. We don't charge for that. You can call us, even if you filed your taxes, give us an opportunity to do a free look or a free double check. We would go in and we would also do a paycheck calculator, a paycheck checkup is what we would do. And we would look and see what that is. So if it's $2,177, let's go back and look at our paycheck calculator here, and we're looking at, $2,496. So that's about on target. And so that's kind of, if you're going to a tax preparer and you're always owing and you happen to pay Uncle Sam every year, you might want to consider, possibly, finding another, tax preparer that would give you the tools, the knowledge, and the resources, for you to be able to, accurately, get a refund every year. But that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. The ambiguous, of how that works, and and what we're up against here. It's going to be very interesting how this 2020 turns out. But if you go back to our website once again, we are MKG Tax Consultants. We are located here in Fresno, off of Fresno and Sussex Street. This is our forms library where we give you the tools and the ability to go in and do your own tax withholding estimates, as well as a paycheck calculator. And if you're a salary employee, you also have the ability to do that as well. You can download the W-4 form by clicking on the link here. You can also download the California Withholding Allowance Certificate, which is called a DE-4. And if you're retired and receiving a pension, you can also download the withholding for a pension, which is a W-4P. Down here at the bottom, you have the ability to send us a chat. You can chat with us online through Facebook Messenger. That's really nice because, we get back to you really fast, and answer your questions in a timely manner. You can just get on there and just do a live chat, sign in as a guest, but it's preferred if you sign in as a person. We can, correspond with you, and also you can talk through, Facebook Messenger. We also offer a written guarantee. We also have some things to bring to your tax appointment. So we want to make sure, that we are getting you organized with all the tools, resources, and documents that you should bring, so that you don't have to make, multiple trips and dubious trips to the office. This here, is our things to bring to your tax office. It's really nice. It's a documents to bring. You want to bring in, your social security card, your driver's license, your state issue ID cards, your dependent social security card, the date of birth of the birth certificates, your real estate and personal property taxes, your state and local taxes, your sales tax paid, your medical and dental expenses, your estimated taxes on foreign taxes paid, your cash and non-cash charitable donations, your mortgage or home equity loans and interest paid, 1098s, unreimbursed employment-related expenses, job-related or education expenses, your health insurance forms, the 1095A, the 1095B, the 1095C that will come from the Cover California, the casualties and theft, receipts on qualified energy efficient home improvements, moving expenses, your 1098Ts for college, going to school. If you went to college, your kids went to college, a 1098 E for interest, W-2s, your self-employment business income and expenses, your 1099 miscellaneous, your 1099Ks if you sold online at eBay, your commissions, your pensions, your 1099Rs, your IRA contributions. Definitely, we have the unemployment form there, which is the 1099G. That is taxable federal, but it is not taxable for state. Your interest on dividends, your Social Security income from an SSA or 1099, your statements on the sale of stocks. So if you traded online with Robinhood, E-Trade, Fidelity, you want to bring in a 1099B, your state refund amount of your 1099G, your income and expenses from your rentals. If you have a cancellation of debt, a 1099C, any lottery and gambling winnings, you went to the casino and you won some money, you got paid out, you didn't have no taxes, or you did have taxes taken out, alimony paid or received, your records or purchase of a sale of a home, if you bought an automobile, education expenses, your child care expenses, and provider information. That's a lot of things that we want to make sure that our clients have, before they come into the office. And so, we want to make sure you're very organized and very well prepared. Another thing that I like to, talk about, if you owe California taxes, you also have the ability to download our installment agreement request form, which is the 9465 is for the federal, the 3567 is for the state of California. We do offer a written guarantee. And if you are, we also have a fillable, our client data sheet here. It's very nice and beautiful here. We have everything set up. We don't want people to be, not informed. We want to walk you through the process and, kind of know what your expectations are going to be. You can look up what our MKG client data sheet is. This is what you would fill out. You can download our mobile app and it will pretty much walk you through the same process of filling this information out here, which is a taxpayer's name, your occupation, your social security number, your address. You would check all those that would apply, would check the income that, check the boxes that pertain to you. Another thing that you would do is your child care information, and then you would certify that this information is true and correct. And then that is the, our forms there that we have for a tax client data sheet. Another thing that, I wanted to go over here as well was our tax organizer. I think our tax organizer is, like the silver lining here. And this is where, you will go here and take a look at what this tax organizer would do. The taxpayer information, it has your filing status. It goes off into the spousal information. Another thing was your wages, salary, income, your other income. It's very nice and beautiful. It's 6 pages here, with this tax organizer. It even goes with the deductions. We pretty much don't want to, we turning over every rock, and looking up under every deduction that's possible. Your business income, if you're self-employed, we'll go ahead and go through all that, about, your rental income, if you own real estate, we want to go to your adjustments, your estimated taxes, your healthcare information. So this is a nice little toolbox here. Once again, this is our forms library. I want to make sure, those are the people that are educated on that, and if you change your address, we even offer, have a form here where you can fill this out to change your address with the IRS so that they don't send, your mail or your stimulus payment. We also do an auto insurance questionnaire form here. But the IRS change of address is a 8822F for the individual. You can take a look at that. This is how you change your address with the IRS. Even if you move, if they send you any mail, you want to make sure you update this. It's a nice form. You fill it out, you mail it off to the IRS. And it goes right there. It tells you where to file it, how is it done. So that's the, what we do. We like to educate our clients. We want to make sure you're informed. But back to the topic here, about the W-4 form. If you're unsure and uneasy about that, and if you think, you want to go the rest of the year and it, and not really get ahead of that, it might affect you, very much. But if you're interested and you want to know more about MKG Tax Consultants, you can go ahead and take a look. What is our principles and our values? what our company believes in. Basically, our focus is on tax refunds, but however, everybody doesn't always qualify for a tax refund. But when it comes to tax preparation, that's kind of what we do best, and that's kind of what we're good at. But this is a nice little video. Well, we look forward to individuals that are interested in learning more about the MKG tax difference. Visit us online at mkgtaxconsultants.com or give us a call at 559-412-7248 or chat with us on chat